Buying a first car is never an easy ride. With so many cars to choose from, it can seem like there are endless ways to go wrong. In this video, I'll be showing you around a few of the options you can choose from when picking a first car, and hopefully making your decision a little bit easier when it actually comes to picking the car for you. I've separated this video out into three main categories by budget: high, medium and low. High budget is around 10 grand and up, whilst medium is 2 to 5 and low is around 1k. This video is going to be solely based around cars from the UK too, so expect a lot of hatchbacks and low capacity engines.
Buying your first car is always a crazy experience. It's always good fun, a little bit nerve-wracking, and when you get in that car for the first time and drive off with no one else in it, that feeling is awesome, so I look forward to that. So when you go to buy a first car, the main categories you're going to be looking for are cost, performance and looks. When it comes to cost, there's the running cost, there's the miles per gallon, and then there's the potential repairs that you'll have to pay on the vehicle. No matter how reliable a car is, there's probably going to be something you're going to have to fix, and different brands and different models tend to come with different cost points for the materials, for the repair costs. If you get it serviced at a dealer, if you do it yourself, it's all going to cost slightly different per car, so keep that in mind.
So if you have a budget of 10k and up, I'd recommend cars such as the Fiesta ST, Mini 1 and Audi A1 as examples. These hatches have great interiors, great feel when driving and good safety ratings between them. Being new or almost new will mean your repair costs should be pretty minimal, and newer technology means a good mixture of performance and economy.
Limiting factors you're probably going to come across is going to be cash to start off with. If you have a high-end unlimited budget, then you can really choose anything you fancy, and it's just down to what you think will be most comfortable for you to drive, for you to learn in, because you're going to make mistakes. Even if you pass your test and you've done a load of hours on with an instructor, you're still going to mess up, because driving in the real world is different than driving with a examiner, if you get what I'm saying, or driving with an instructor. If you do have a lot of money, I would recommend starting off with something that's front-wheel drive, that's a hatchback, and that has between, 70 and 120 horsepower. This is just a nice little first car bracket. If you have anywhere between 100 and 120 horsepower as a first car in a little hatchback, that's going to be good fun. No matter what people say, you can have fun with that. The best bang for your buck, I'd say you get around the medium budget level, between 2 and 5 grand when you're buying a first car. This gives you the option of Renault Clios, Ford Fiestas, Seat Ibizas, VW Polos, a lot of cars. You can get some good metal for 2 to 5 grand, I promise you. With decent mileage, you don't need to go super high mileage. Obviously, the higher mileage you go, the newer you can go, because the price comes down with the mileage. But if you want some lower mileage models, then you can go older, so you can trade off for that.
Two models I would recommend for the medium budget tier would be the around 2007 Ford Fiesta Zetec S in diesel or petrol, depending on your preference, and the Seat Ibiza 1.4 Formula Sport, Sport Rider or DAB edition. These models can be picked up from around £2,000 and up, with decent mileage and are well spec'd for the age. Insurance isn't too bad for first year drivers either, being around £1,500 from experience as a 17-year-old driver with no claims or previous experience. If you like your cars to have a slightly sportier edge, then you will enjoy the Zetec S and Sport Rider. However, models such as the Fiesta Zetec, minus the S, and standard Ibizas will be slightly cheaper, more comfortable for normal driving, and can be well spec'd too. The insurance could be on the slightly cheaper side too. If you're not so worried about driving dynamics or space particularly, cars like the VW Up, Skoda Citigo or Seat Me are extremely cheap to run, with very high miles per gallon, good safety ratings and very cheap insurance. You might not look like the coolest person driving around in one of these, but you'll definitely have more money in your pocket at the end of the week than most driving around with you on the road. When it comes to budgets of around a grand, there is still a surprising amount of choice when it comes to cars. Keep in mind the less money you spend, the older and less well-spec'd or higher mileage the car is probably going to be. Good examples of a car for around $1,000 can be Ford Fiestas, Vauxhall Corsas and VW Polos from around 2003 and under. These cars tend to have a minimum of 50,000 miles on them, but parts are pretty damn cheap and widely available in the UK. Keep in mind, with high mileage and age, you're going to have to budget in the possibility of repairs to the car. The cars do have their fair share of faults being as old as they are, but they are fairly reliable across the board. It would make it a hell of a lot cheaper and easier if you can work on the cars yourself, as labour is always expensive when repairing cars. Talking about working on the cars yourself, there is always the possibility of going for a classic car as your first. Now, I have no real experience in classics, but classic Minis, MGs and Triumphs can make for a great experience, but only if you have the tools, time and space to work on them. You're going to have to get used to fixing them on the side of the road or not being able to go out because something has stopped working, but hey, that can just be part of the fun. Whatever you pick for your first car, make sure you have fun and stay safe on the road. As a car enthusiast or not, you will remember your first car for a long time to come. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Let me know what you're looking for as a first car or what you bought as your first. Drive safe and make sure you have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.